Okay. Can you please tell me if you can hear me all right and I can start sharing my screen? Hi everyone. Okay. Hi. Today I'll be working on this thing. This is just like a sketch for a picture that I want to paint with ballpoint pen and watercolors, of all things. But first, I want to do some test colors in Procreate, so I thought that I can stream this process and show you a bit more how I decide the colors for my stuff. You can see me also on the camera, and I have your chat here on the screen, so I should be able to look up from time to time and answer your questions if you have any questions. Okay, so without further ado, I will just show you the references I'm using for this picture. Which is this? It's this one. So these are two pictures that I did on a walk with Kana of a small, I think it's a shrine. And I liked it, but I thought that I'll just make a picture that has my own kind of take on this place. So I didn't draw it as I see it on the pictures. I did like a scene with a bit different perspective and a bit different point of view. I added the crow and kind of grumpy guy like cleaning the shrine grounds. So I want to make rough colors for this. So let's start. I'm on a separate layer. Okay. Hi everyone. So let's see. I still don't have like an idea for the colors here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. But I don't think this is like a really sunny scene. I don't want to make strong shadows, so let's start with some blues and let's see where we go from there. Окей. На здравие. So I don't have to be so precise here because this is just like a test thing. Hello. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. It was, I think, one of the pictures in that series that gave me the most problems. Like other pictures had more like decided theme and I knew what I was doing more or less, but that picture was like a mishmash of things and I had really to try to get something out of it that looked like a scene that I planned. Okay. Okonomiyaki. Kinda made it, and it's awesome good. I ate it right now, so I'm content with the world. Like dark green maybe. I got used to the I have been using some Creep Studio recently, and in that application the alt works a bit different. You have to hold it to pick the color, and here I just press it to pick the color, so my hand is kind of confused. Hello! So I need some darker stuff there in the... Yeah, something like this, I guess. There's like a fence here. On the original photo, in the original place, the fence like in the middle of the bridge was metal, and I didn't like it because it was just like really cold and out of place there. So I made up a fence that's made of bamboo. I think it looks better here. So these are some of the things that I sometimes do in the pictures to make them look better. Okay. And ultimately I want to paint it in watercolors, so this is just like a test thing. Okay, so there's like a darker tree here in the back. Paint it like this for now, and I laugh because our dog is sleeping next to my desk, and she has a dream, I guess, and is like whining, probably running and biting something. Yeah, it's also cloudy kind of in Tokyo. I guess we are getting closer to the rainy season. OK。うまかったね。うまい。うまいよね。OK。That's better. Okay. And this tree here, I'll make a bit greener. And some kind of bluish green highlights on the right, maybe. It's kind of a like it starts to look like early morning maybe or something like this, which is nice. And hi. Yeah, there's certainly some communication between the crow and the guy there in the background. I'll make a new layer and let's quickly put some color on them. Be a bit more like this. Okay, for now it's okay, and let me get to the kind of fence thing in the middle. Okay, and How I draw trees. It's not something that I can explain in just like few sentences. I have like a PDF thing on my Patreon that explains it a bit more, but it's quite complex thing to explain. But the basic is that the further you away from the farther away is the tree, the more simple it has to be drawn. But also, the closer it is to you, the more complex it has to be drawn, and that's something you really have to remember. It's really easy to put too much details in a tree that's really far, or too little details in a tree that's really close up. So the ability to control well these amount of details is really important. This may seem obvious, but there's no real like a secret to painting trees. It's more like putting the effort in the details and in the shape, like with any other object. The only like important decision to make that you have to make yourself is how do you want to simplify the shape of the tree, because obviously you cannot just draw it as you see it because it's too complex. So you have to make a decision how you will simplify the shape, and this you can do only by studying other people's work, I guess, and trying to figure out kind of their decision on this subject. So I tend to study and look at other people's work to see how they do leaves, and see how they do the trunk, and see how they do the colors, and try to figure out what part of their kind of methods I like, and if I can put it into my art a bit. Okay. I guess I can make this part here in the middle a bit darker because of the guardrail. No one steps here, so it's not so shiny here in the middle and in the corners. You have to be kind of careful where from the color palette you choose your color. You can kind of see like where are you aiming for, and for example, if you are afraid that your picture will turn too colorful, you avoid this area here. But if you want to make it kind of dull and not so sunny, I tend to pick colors from here-ish. If I was doing like full sunny day pictures, I would be probably doing colors from somewhere here. So, and if you want to make like a lot of contrast, you pick some colors from here and some colors from here. But here I want to make it not so contrasty and a bit dull, so I'm kind of aiming from colors from here. It's a good exercise to kind of try to limit your area of color picking to some part of the color palette, so this way you can kind of discover that you can paint actually a lot of things with really limited colors. Hi. Yes, I did monetize, not on this stream, I guess, but most of the videos that I upload on YouTube right now are monetized, and I'm honestly a bit disappointed. I thought that there would be like enough kind of difference in the view count that it would actually matter a bit, but it seems that the amount of subscriptions, for example, new subscriptions that I'm getting like monthly or something, actually fell down a bit, which is weird. I was guessing that YouTube would be more pleased with my videos if I turned on the commercials on it. It is helpful because I get a bit of money from my videos right now, which is helpful. It's not like a lot, but just a little bit. But basically, my kind of business model is like getting a little bit of money from a lot of different places. So I'm happy that I have another one that I can add to the lot and get a really small but monthly payment from, which is good. But yeah, I thought that there would be some positive reaction from YouTube about promoting my video a bit more, but it seems not. So I don't really know why some videos are promoted and some are not, but then again, I guess no one knows. So yeah, like all bow to the algorithm, I guess, and no matter what we do, we don't know what the hell is going on inside. Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. The only thing I'm worried about is that is the thing that is it worth me putting you through watching some commercials, is it worth enough for my channel? And I don't really know. I was actually really counting more on the kind of promotional effect than just getting more income actually. So if the promotional effect is not really visible, I'm kind of thinking if it was worth it. You can make digital art look traditional, but I think to do that you have to be kind of on a good level of traditional art, because I don't think any like application that just straight simulates watercolors or whatever will be good enough to fool anyone. You have to be kind of know well what watercolors do, for example, to help the application a bit. And even when using like simple brushes and stuff, you can make things look more traditional than just your standard painting style in digital. But I know some pictures that are done, for example, in this style that is similar to Studio Ghibli, but they make it digitally, and some of them are good enough that you can look at them and like, I don't know on the first look if it's digital or hand painted. But I think that you actually have to be quite good with the medium that you want to recreate digitally to achieve this kind of level. I'm self-taught. Sorry. I'm a self-taught artist. Sorry for the candy, but I can't stop coughing when I talk too much, I guess. And I never went to like a proper art school. Most of the things that I learned by myself. When I went to the university in Japan, which was supposed to be like a university in animation and comics, I was kind of not really smart enough to know that I should actually ask people stuff, so I didn't so much. So even though I was technically at an art university, I didn't do so much like classes or courses in actual painting or drawing or something. Most of the time I spent on like theory of storytelling and trying to make my own animation and my own works. So I didn't do any like drawing classes or painting classes. Sadly, I wish I did. Yes, I want to make some content about animation because of two reasons. I'm currently really slowly making like an animation thing in between my other projects. So I want to make it. So I will be doing some test shots and test animations for that, and I also want to try if I can use Clip Studio, Paint EX for animation, and how well does it work for that. I want to test it in some test cuts and test animations that I want to make. So probably in the next month or something I will be doing some test animations maybe. Thank you. I haven't seen that movie yet, and I really, to be honest, I really don't want to see it because I think it's an abomination. It's I think this project as a whole is like a child of many misunderstandings and many misunderstood people and many misunderstood positions of those people, and I don't think it should have been made as a Ghibli movie. If they wanted to do it, I thought they should do it as with the previous animations that Goro Miyazaki made, so just make it for the TV, for like NHK or something for kids, and that's it. I cannot agree that they should put like the Ghibli mark on it, and for me that's a bad move on everyone's part. So I'm a bit pissed about it. So I guess I will have to see it one day, but I kind of can't get my nerve to do it. Yeah, so for these of you who don't know, Hayao Miyazaki has two sons. One is an artist that does I think not lino cuts, but like in metal. So he does pictures with metal things, and then you put it on like metal prints. I don't know how you call it in so like the not lithography, well, like something like this. And he has one more son who was an kind of garden space designer, something like this, who suddenly decided that what he really wanted to do was animation, and so they allowed him to do the Geto Senki, so Earthsea, which was a kind of a failure, mostly because he just not copied, but he used a lot of elements that we think of as original Ghibli or original Miyazaki style things, which was not really coherent, and the story was like and he made from a really great book a mediocre movie. And so usually it would be like, okay, you know what, you tried, you didn't like it, no, like you had your experience, okay, that's it. But they actually allowed him to do a second thing, which was the up on the Poppy Hill, and that was okay because it was based on a comic which already had a story, and also he had some help from Hayao Miyazaki himself, and so that was okay, and I actually liked that movie. And I think that if he wanted to continue just making movies, he should like stick to this method of like having a story that he can just put to the screen and that's it. But he actually started to do like television animation for based on some children's stories which were in 3D using CGI, and that looked horrible. And somehow they decided that even though these series were horrible and just I don't know if anyone liked it at all, they decided that they would give him a chance to do like a movie based on Ursula K. Le Guin's book, which also is weird because that book is like, if I'm not mistaken, it was published after she passed away, and it's kind of, the book itself is weird. It looks like it's not finished. It's kind of weird. It doesn't fit anything so well, and the story is kind of bland. It's like really simple. There's not so much happening there. You have this girl that is like taken from this orphanage, and she is supposed to helping a witch, but nothing actually really happens in the story. She's just there in the house doing like chores, and that's it, and she rebels, and happy end. So that's like advice for comic creators: make good comics and learn in the process. That's it. I don't feel versed in comics at all. That's an advice that you could get from Kana probably, because she is actually making 2 monthly comics right now at once, which I'm still looking at with not with surprise, but with admiration, and her comics are really good. Manga creator に対してなんかアドバイスある？ちょっと考えて。Kana says that if you are a manga creator and you want to do comics, you should read and see a lot of things that are not comics. So I would suppose like movies and art in general, and books and stuff to get inspired. 級かなだって。Good morning. Na zdrowie. My favorite Ghibli movie changes with time. Right now it's Mimi Osumaseba. So how is it called in English? I cannot see it. I have the book there. Whisper of the Heart. Yes. It's weird because when I came to Japan, I only knew like English titles of animations, and I would say like Ghost in the Shell and so on, and everyone was like, "What? Ghost of the what?" And so I learned like all the Japanese titles for like Ghost in the Shell, for example, is Koukaku Dotai, and so on. So lately I have been using so much of like the Japanese titles that I started to forget the English titles for all the movies. Like especially we talk about Ghibli movies with Kana a lot, so we use only like the Japanese names for these movies. So it's really easy to forget. I don't know if I'm the future Kawasahase, but I make ukiyo-e also. Actually, there's like a second ukiyo-e based on my design. So I have been dabbling a lot with the Japanese wood carvings lately, thanks to the ukiyo-e project. So recently I was able to do second design for a carving, and I got some test prints recently which look awesome. So I'm really excited to show them to you when the final prints are on, and I'm able to just disclose everything. But soon, I guess. Konnichiwa. I don't know if I'm making a contribution to Japanese art history. Probably not, but one of the things I was really happy recently was that I got an offer from the publisher of Japanese books for schools. So like the book you get for the art course in middle school. And they decided to put my art in the section about drawing and painting Tokyo. So they put my painting of Tokyo from the Tokyo at Night series, and I was actually next to Kawasahase, I think. So I'm making a bit of contribution, I think. Maybe not from the historical point of view, but from like modern art that's not like cutesy characters, I guess, which is needed, I think. So we have some diversity. So I was happy about that a lot. I got the book actually, so I'll take some photos and put on social media when I have some free few minutes. Answering question about Makoto Shinkai, I did work there for 3 years before we worked on Your Name, and even I did work there for 3 years. I still had problems to get the style right first try, so it took me, I think, a month or two of constantly painting and being corrected by the background director to kind of get what they are trying to do. So it took me some time. I guess in the second part, like the last 4 months of working on the backgrounds, I was okay enough. So I had just a little bit of corrections done to my work. The first like month or two were really rubbish because I was corrected a lot, and it's not fun when you submit a picture you worked on for 3 days, for example, and then you see that all the sky that you spent one day on painting just went and was erased and repainted by someone else. So there's no really not really a time to explain okay, you should do this like this or that. They just correct it, and I guess being corrected and then looking at these corrections made me learn fast, but it was not a pleasant experience. Okay, so I would like to make this foreground stand out a bit more. Sorry for the candy, but if I don't eat it, I'll probably cough again. I didn't submit a portfolio as such. I submitted my movie, the Right Places. So if you want to see my portfolio, it's like all the backgrounds that I did for Right Places. So the short movie that I still have on my YouTube actually. So you can go there and see it. Okay. My name is Mateusz Urbanowicz. You can hear it on my website. I have like a button that you can press and it speaks my name because there's actually a lot of people that ask it. Okay, and I'll turn this into screen maybe and make it more saturated and a bit darker-ish, something like this. And let's now erase the parts that we don't need. I'll put a mask on it, and brush. So I had when I submitted the movie, and I was like basically okay, but you still have to learn things probably. They did give me some like practice pieces to do, but there were nothing special like a corridor or some trees or something. So but these were mostly to check if I can understand what they want me to do. So if I can after some learning, if I can actually be a member of a team or something. So doing your animation on your own and doing something that they want you to do is a completely different thing. So I'm a little bit into video games. I did some Zelda, and right now I went to Monster Hunter on the Switch. but I didn't have any time to play recently, so for right places I did all the animation by hand, so I drew all the animation frames by hand with a pencil, and just for coloring and stuff I used Photoshop and After Effects to put the whole thing together. But for the backgrounds I also used Photoshop, so I painted all the backgrounds in Photoshop also, because at that point I heard that in the animation studio they mostly used Photoshop for painting. Okay, I think that's that, and I'll just there's a little trick that I like to do sometimes. I will save this file and put it into Pixelmator to try to put some filters on it. Sometimes like putting these filters, like they are meant for photography actually, but putting a filter like this can be nice for like balancing the colors a bit, and especially like the Pixelmator on the iPad, because you can put a filter on a picture and then with the slider you can adjust the amount of the filter, which is really useful. I wish actually Lightroom or something had this. This looks nice. Yeah, so this one or this one, I think this one is like kind of darker and more contrasty, which is nice. Okay, so that's it. I will print the line work and trace it with ball pen. Actually, this time I want to try it because I bought a ball pen that has waterproof ink, so I want to try and to draw the line art with it, and then I'll try to color it with watercolors to see how it looks. It feels like for a picture like this, which has a lot more line variation, so thin and thick lines and kind of more pencil-like lines in the background, A ballpoint pen can be interesting because it gives actually a bit of these pencil-like lines if you use it like lightly, and really thick lines if you really press down. So maybe this will be actually an interesting tool to explore. I will film it and there will be a video about it on my channel in the near future, so stay tuned. Okay, thank you for joining me today. This is the picture that I test colored, and that's it. Thank you. See you in the next stream. Thank you for joining me.